Well, after about 20 minutes of fuck about, we've finally got going. Sorry to let you all down. You've got me doing awful comms. Probably no one's going to watch this, so I don't have to worry about it. It's round 5 of the wildcard around Singapore, the worst track in the game, and Izzat is currently second. As you can tell, this event's going extremely well, having 14 drivers. So that's all you need to say about this. Let me just get this link out so all my friends can watch it. Right, so it's round 5 at Singapore. Who should we ride on board with? QBR Killer. No, he's a bum. Who's on a lap? Should probably get the stuff up so people actually know what's going on. No, he's chinned it off. Is he going again? Hopefully not. Who's furthest along on their outlap? No one knows. Is it Gary? It looks like it's being Gary. So we'll ride on the wall with this Irish Mong. We'll probably choke and bottle it, but at the moment he's sitting in P4 36.7. Not gonna lie, I don't even know what's a good time around there, so we'll see whoever gets pole. I'll say that's a good time. I've been left here by myself to just chat shit basically and keep you all occupied whilst these guys drive around Singapore for 36 laps, which is going to be the most painful experience of my life. And I've had some painful experiences in my life. Now we're going to watch Gary as he goes into turn 1. Hopefully he gets put off by that car. Sadly doesn't, he's not invalidated, which is a shame. As he goes around turn 3, I'm pretty sure that is. We'll see. Got some comments. Probably people who just don't care. Let's read these. Cheers, Nick. Yeah, he's great comments. I know the enthusiasm is just literally just rolling off the tongue. I'm so excited. Don't know what times are good, but we'll see. 36.1 by the looks of it. I'm assuming they're going to be in the 35s maybe? I don't know. I don't have a clue. I don't know if Gary's on a good lap or a bad lap. We'll find out when he crosses the line. Hopefully it's a bad lap because, you know, QBR are bums. But we'll see. Gone through that section, looks a bit meh. Hopefully it locks up into this hairpin. Not too bad, not too bad, not too shabby, Gary. That wheel tax coming in straight there. But this is where the tyre starts overheating the final sector, so hopefully they overheat and he puts it straight into a wall. He's purple, but I'm not going to believe any of that. Apparently Nathan says Gary gets annoyed when people overtake him. He must be annoyed constantly then. And he's actually done what I said he would do. He's overheated his tyres and put it in a wall. Gary, you need to stop listening to the stream because it is not going out well for you. Who else is on the lap? VER Vogel. I don't know who you are, so I don't really care. But we'll see. I like livery. What's this? No, I don't actually. It's terrible. Anyway, he's doing alright. At this rate, he'll pass Izzat in the standings for P2. But that's not really hard because Izzat is washed. He's about 5'0", so you can barely see the steering wheel. Oh, I didn't even watch GSP night. He just went pole. GSB 1-2 at the moment. They clearly play this game a bit too much and need to take some time off, but not all of us have lives, so here they are. As we're watching Vogel again. Oh, look at that, the relentless chat is there. Tell me I'm doing great. That moral support, team readers love me. Go on Vogel, you gonna bin it? You gonna do a Gary? That Kirby's a bit of a bitch to be fair. I've gone over it a few times and it's nearly killed me. But he's getting close to the walls like. I rate the effort. I don't know if it's going to be a good lap, but yeah, if the improvement beats his out, then it's doing alright. But then again, Izzat is pretty bad. But he's done a 36.2 and that is put in P2, so Izzat, you are washed. If you do not qualify in the top 3 at your own track, you probably get kicked. He actually starts his lap. Anyone can finish their lap? I don't even know. Where are they on the track? Optic controller, what are you doing? Well, as my PlayStation loves screaming. NR Optic F1, so clearly got an absolute fanboy of Optic here, and obviously he's in the green car, which helps, and like the Optic wall, he's put it in the wall, so good job there, NR. You living up to it, as that just drives past a bombed up car. Obviously I'm going to be driving with Relentless quite a lot because, you know, Relentless bias is really big right now in this event, as TTL found out when the decision didn't go their way and decided to leave the event because they're butthurt kids who need to get a life. As we ride upon Izzat, hopefully he just bins it through here because that'll be hilarious. Looks like all his tut-tut lessons have been paying off as he just absolutely nails the hairpin. You know what, Izzat, you're not actually half bad. We'll see. Sector 3 has claimed a few victims, just like the RRA version of Gary, who's in the pits, just recovering from his incident going into the wall. Let's see if he'll ride this curb. No, he avoids the curb like it's COVID. Shock. Doesn't want to get called into that again. All that Asian persuasion. Oh, as another car is just doing donuts. Anything to put off is that. All the other teams are trying. I do rate it. I would put off that myself. I don't know what his second times to be getting on, to be fair, but it looks like he's going alright. Oh wow, you know what? He's not half bad, is he? For a tiny little man, he packs a solid punch. Alright, who else is on a lap that I should probably pay attention to? No, Optic is put in the wall. Everyone's in the pit, so I have to just sit here and talk to myself. Anyone coming out the pits that I can watch? Oh, there's a red car. No. Oh, it is. Oh. No, that's so different. My eyes deceiving me, or am I just a mong? I'm definitely a mong, but I'm pretty sure that red car's leaving. It is. GSP Knight. Don't get mixed up with REL Knight, because if it was our Knight, he would not be this high up. He'd probably be in a wall or crashing into someone. But let's see if this GSP Knight's got the minerals to take out Izzat on his home track. Hopefully he has, so we can all laugh at Izzat in the Relentless chat, because we all hate him. But not as much as we hate Mark, who I don't even know where he is. Oh, he's last. Not surprised. Mark is a mom. Oh, he's completely fucking in the corner. Oh, it's an outlap. Doesn't matter then. Just one motor tyres and just, you know, get the lines in. Hopefully he puts in the wall in his outlap because he's going pretty fast. But I guess, you know, got to keep the temperature in these tyres because you get cold tyres nowadays. But yeah, he's sending it like it's an actual lap, mate. You want to take a break. Or bin it. I don't really mind. But as you can tell, Relentless are going for the sandwich effect. Obviously we've got Izzat on top, the Mark on bottom. If everyone else has a nice little filling, don't count those bums who've either DNF or probably got quality bands because they're driving like absolute lunatics on at Brazil. But we'll see. Hope everyone's enjoying the really enthusiastic comms of myself sat here in a real dark room watching kids drive around a track. It's enthralling. I love it. Don't worry, when the race starts happening, I'll neck a can of Monster and I'll just start screaming like I do at COD and FIFA. But here we go, GSP Knight, he's going to start his lap and hopefully he just bottles it, but we'll see. No bias comms here. Go on Knight, you can do it. Doesn't look the best. There's an Apex in there somewhere. Oh, hopefully that NLI guy puts him off. Optic doing some 360 no scopes. No, he's not putting him off. GSP Knight under the night sky is absolutely nailing it. Looking a bit shaky there. Looking a bit shaky. Anyway, tangent because I'm a bit of a monk. I just like to talk to myself. But here we go. Turn 4, I don't know, 5 maybe. He's rode those curbs. Wow, damn. Wish I could go over curbs like that. Nice little lock up there. Get nice and close to that wall. Hopefully, ooh, that wall sits out there. Luckily, didn't hit that. This is the tricky situation where you can just bang your front wing or just ride the curb on the exit of the bridge. Oh, has he got damage there? Hopefully he has. Didn't. Yeah. Doesn't seem to be affecting me. Still carrying on. I don't even know if he's up on a sector. Oh, it's a bit of wheel spin. You don't want that. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the best. Well, he's doing shit. Oh well, GSP Knight, unless you're gonna absolutely find something in the last sector, which I don't think you will because this is where it's like tyre starts to overheat. You avoid that curb. Ooh, get close to that wall. And that wall, Jesus Christ. I'll rate it. I'll rate it. Living life on the edge. Something I don't do. Oh, not the best. Is he going to come in, or is he generally thinks he's going to go again? Oh no. He thinks he's up. Is he up? That's the question. Wow. No, he's not. That was a waste of time. Just be nice, so appreciate that. Oh, Vogel's binned his lap. Anyone? Who's on lap that I should care about? Gary. Let's go on top of this bottle drop. It's really disgusting. Oh, he's purple. Gary, mate, you feel right. He says purple, but he's about nearly a second off in that, so I can't see him doing much in this far sector. Is he going to ride this curb? Half-heartedly. Yeah, commit, you got to commit, you know what I'm saying? Get a bit closer there, Gary, mate. Yeah, it's not too bad. I don't know what the weather like is going to be for the race. I'm assuming it's just going to be dry. Dry and boring like this race probably will be, because nothing's going to happen. Gary, P6. That's his. Oh, it's the time up, is it? Jesus Christ, I didn't realise. It's good to see I'm paying attention. Right, there's an IRT guy. Nearly finished his lap. What's he done? P12. Well, that sums up IRT. IRT Mick. Probably just as bad as Mick Schumacher at the weekend. Let's see what he can do. There seems to be a black car in front of him. I don't know who that is, not gonna lie. Oh, it's Mark. Oh, God. Well, I'm sorry for blessing your eyes with this absolute monstrosity of a driver, but I guess I'll give him some screen time because he'll probably bin it, and he's P7. That's, you know what, for you that's not bad, Mark. Mark and Mick. Mick, you can even beat Mark, so that's all I need to say about that. Who's in front of him? VER Jimmy. Jimmy Neutron comes across the line. What is he going to do? It doesn't look competitive at all, but obviously it's faster than Mark, so we'll see. But Jake, what's he going to do? P9. Come on, Jake. You letting Mark do that. That's SBS from Mr. Rage. The special boat service, because I don't know how to drive on track, has put it 8th ahead of Mark. Not surprised. VR Vogels and P5. Who else is left on this track? Oh God, there's a. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, yeah, I don't have a clue what's going on in there. Well, he's got second with his little anime weird looking helmet. Not surprised, because he is a weird guy. That helmet suits him to a T. As we go, Sam. So we've got GSP on top. You got the Cameroon Singaporean second, is that? You got DTR No Jug P3, GSP Knight 4th, VR 5th, Gary somehow on 6th. He'll probably have a nosebleed put in the wall. 7th, Jimmy Neutron 8th, Special Boat Service. The Malteser in P9, Jakey Boy in 10, Mick Schumacher in 11th, Optic Fanboy 101 in 12th, IRT, don't even know what that is, Barcode Boy maybe, in P13, Felix in P14, and Wesley Snipes in P15. Well then, this is going to be carnage, but we'll see. I don't know how the race is going to go. I've been given no things. I'm just going to see what the crack is. Anyone saying anything interesting? Probably not. Nah, this is cool. I ran out of monsters, so there goes my enthusiasm. Sadly, it's dry, so that's just boring. Pretty sure nearly every race I've done around Singapore has been wet. Makes it a bit more interesting, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what tyre strats people are going for. I don't know what the strategy is. I'm assuming it's hard, medium, medium, hard. Unless someone wants to go soft and spice it up a bit and just, hope for the best. That's what I'd do. But, I'm a bit of a weird guy, so we'll see. We'll see. Alright. Just waiting for a few players to get into the lobby. I've got no COCOM to bounce off, so I'm just going to be bounced off the walls by myself. Well, this is fun. Time goes by. God, the anticipation is killing me. It'd be a shame if everyone's a DNF on the first lap, but we'll see. As what is the tyres? What has everyone gone? I don't care about the stops. Position change. Tyres. Woo! Nice. Oh, how do I get rid of this menu? Whoa! Oh, class. Right. So front three are on mediums, hoping they've got the pace to pull away from Knight and Vogel, who might be the cork in the bottle. Gary a bit optimistic on the mediums, clearly not got the pace to hang out on the hards, but then he's probably realised he's probably going to get damage on lap 1 and have to go to the hards and take them for as long as he can and hope for a late safety car. But yeah, so it's a fairly even split between mediums and hards, but we'll see. I don't know actually, but yeah, who God knows. Well, any predictions on who's going to be P1, P2 and P3? I feel like Izzat's going to win. He's probably, you know, I don't want to say he's going to win, but you know, I've got to back my boy. How are the standings looking, Ryan? Why would you ask me that? Couldn't tell you. Give me a second. Look at this. Where even are them? Oh, they're there. So, you won't believe this. SBS, Special Boat Service, absolutely nailing it on the road, are leading by 13 points to Relentless, which is a shock because, well, I'm pretty sure we've used a lot of disabled people, including Mark, who's getting used now as a Make-A-Wish kid. QBR, obviously behind us, which they've been for their entirety since we've been a thing. GSP and P4, so hopefully looking for a good points haul here over P1 and P4. And then the rest, NLR, VER, DTR, IRT Academy. I guess our actual team couldn't make it, which is a shame. They'll be missed. But I'm... Oh yes, Shark. Oh, I thought it was Mark. Well, we'll line up. We've got 2 disqualifications, so they're going to have nice cold tyres. Give it a wash. Yeah, no, we are pretty much champs. Are we? You know what I mean, Nathan? Alright, anyway, I need to take it seriously. I'm not saying the 5 lights stuff, because that's pretty just... No. It's 5 lights, and out we go! It's a terrible start for GSP. He's just been lost. That has bamboozled him. Absolutely bamboozled him with his anime stuff, and he's even cut the track. I don't know what he's doing. People, oh, look at this. Optic fan, oh no, GSP has been that stunned by Izzat and his anime that he's just decided to put it right round. Well, there you go, GSP have absolutely bottled it. Izzat is somehow leading. DTR no jug is P2. Izzat looks like he's just pulled a second already. You can tell it's his hometown. He's got the cheats and the hacks out, and he's using all of the track. Hopefully he can keep that gap and just hold out of the RS. Oh, Mark. Oh, Mark. What have you done? What have you done, Mark? If you've killed Jake, you're getting kicked out of the team. Oh, my God. So somehow Mark has dropped loads of positions, yet Sel has his whole front wing, and everyone around him has no front wing. So that's always good. So Mark's clearly done something there. He'll be getting reported and probably getting a race ban because no one likes him. So as it stands, I'm pretty sure there's a safety car or a virtual safety car. Jake is out. That is a shame. I might try and get him in here for co-coms actually, because you know, it'd be better than listening to me bore you and don't have a clue what I'm doing because I barely play this game. But yeah, so let's look at the positions lost, because people don't want to care about the fast lap, do we? Penalties, no one needs them. Position change, so everyone's gone up 1. Felix gone from, whoa, fella, P14 to P7. He's doing alright, he's not half bad. He's a bit of a sweat, to be fair. I've seen him racing about, his name flapping about as a big sweat, so not surprised. Wesley Snipes also from the back. Well, these two started from the back, so they've actually gained 7 and 6 places. As the biggest loser, well, position wise the biggest loser is 4 lap, but the biggest loser in this actual lobby is Mark, so he's clearly done something. But yeah, if anyone's going to go into the pits, I feel like, yep. So GSP 4 lap must have got damage, must have made contact with someone as he's going around. Obviously Optic Gaming not doing well. He's got no front wing. You kind of need that to get around the track. Mark hasn't got damage, surprisingly, even though he probably caused that entire incident. But that just sums up Mark, the Malteser. Hopefully he'll be getting kicked out, but we'll see. What are they going on to? I feel like they're going to have to go, unless they were on mediums beforehand, which I don't think they were. Let's see. What are they on? So we'll go on to mediums and hards. See, 4 laps probably better off there because you can just take them as long as you can and hope for a safety car, which will probably happen because the obvious is still in the race. But we'll see. We will see what Mark's going to do. Right, now to the front ways, that is just following the safety car. Keeping those tyres nice and warm, doesn't want to overdo it. Clearly rocking the Ariel paint scheme. Our colours are pink and orange, so he's doing a great job there. But like I said, GSP not off to a good start. Optic, I don't know what, he must have been stuck in the heydays, but you know, not anymore. But yeah, QVR, unlucky. I'm annoyed it's Killer that's crashed out. I wish it was Gary, just because Gary's washed and Jake's actually quite a nice person, so it's been wasted, absolutely wasted. But DTR No Joke, I don't know who you are, but yeah, you're P2, GSP Knight, P3, Vogel. These are some weird names, by the way. Like I'm not going to say anything, but yeah. Gary P5, he's obviously gone up a position because GSP dropped a bollock. Felix is the one to watch though. I feel like he's going to make his way up the thing, get past Jimmy Neutron, and then Gary will just get a nosebleed and just put in a wall for himself. But yeah, Mark, Ben and P12, he'll probably drop a lot further than that, so no one needs to worry about him at the moment. I mean, here we go. Yeah, we got this is class. Well, this safety car is, well, let's hope for many, many more safety cars. Well, oh, it's 31 laps, so we've already got through 3 laps, thank God. Only 28 more laps to go. Anyone want to start a conversation whilst we wait for the safety car to end? Because I'm pretty bored in here, I've got no one to talk to but myself. My child's in the other room, so I can't talk to him. That's a shame. Anyone in the chat? No? Cool. Apparently Mark's trying to blame Killer for the incident, but when's Mark right? He's always wrong, because he likes taking people out, because he's an absolute lunatic. Because now we're just going to wait, drive around stupidly slow, and bore everyone to death. But hopefully, I can imagine he's going to do some absolute shithousery, back up the pack, and go at a really, really awkward time and just cause absolute carnage behind him, because that's what Izzat does. Oh. So people call him Mark retarded. Surprisingly enough, it's not the other teams. It's actually Relentless calling other people Relentless retarded, which I'm not surprised, because Mark has got an extra chromosome. 100%. He is the Make-A-Wish kid of Relentless. If for anyone wondering why he's still in the team, we can't really kick him because, you know, they got in contact with us and told him that he needs to race for a team. So, but if anyone else wants to take him, any other teams in here, or any other teams that want to watch, he's actually a really good driver. P12 is not actually reflective. Is oh, Jake started a fight with me. Yes, we can start comms. This will be fun. All right. Wait there. Right, we're back. Sorry, I was just adding my new co-com, who will probably excite you and actually know what he's talking about in this race. And here is my fellow new co-com. He purposely crashed out with Mark so he could join me in the booth because he knew how much of an awful time I was having and I needed some sort of company to get me through this next hour of awful racing. Hello, Jake.
Hello, Ryan. How are you? I'm in a great mood.
you seem really ecstatic. It's definitely not sarcasm that I'm hearing. So you're clearly in as good a mood as I am. And whilst we've mentioned you here, the safety car's actually started, and Izat's already pulled a 1.3 second lead.
Yeah, he's seems to be going very well, doesn't he, the local boy? He's on the mediums as well, and but so's No Yug behind him, so that is a real pace advantage that he's got over No Yug. I don't know, are we doing R-rated comms or are we doing special comms?
Yeah, of course we're doing R-rated. Fuck it, mate. It's not relentless.
Mark's a spastic.
Yeah, I was saying to everyone before you joined, he is the Make-A-Wish kid of Relentless, so you just kind of have to roll with it. We all hate him, but he's here, so you just got to roll with it and deal with it. I imagine he took you out.
It's like that kid on Sports Day who no one ever wants to pick, but you just feel a bit sorry for him. Yeah,
that's him. We've tried to offer him to other teams, but obviously no one wants him, so we're just left with him.
I'm out of the loop with this race. I need to look who's gone where and what the position changes is.
The biggest gainers are Felix has come from last to P7. Wesley Snipes has gone from 13th to 9th. The biggest losers, other than Mark being an absolute loser himself, is GSP 4-lap, who spun on turn 3, but I think he may have had contact to go into the pits. So, might have coming together with someone.
Is this our first commentary together?
Yeah, this is our first... I don't know.
Actually, no, I've got a feeling we did a 25% one back in the... Oh, contact there, sorry, between Ariel Mark. He gets what he's deserved because he's punted by Optic into turn 3, the little twat.
Mark is super aggressive. I think he thinks he's in a lobby by himself because he's just driving like there's no other cars around him, which is just Mark to a T. And he's actually dropped to last, which I'm not surprised because it's Mark and he's awful.
Properly is. I remember his ISRL race where he murdered 4 people in a straight line, which was
I was one of those people actually. Yeah, I remember that fondly. Apparently 4 wide was the perfect amount, and cutting across everyone on a straight was going to work perfectly for everyone involved, and he took everyone out and then proceeded to say that it wasn't his fault, which just seems to be a Mark thing to do, I've noticed. But there's not much battles going on. The only one I can actually see is Felix actually on the back of Jimmy Neutron, aka VER Jimmy, and like I said, he's the one who's come from last to 7th, and he's actually on the hards, which is actually impressive. He's got this pace, so I'm actually worried for when he goes onto the mediums what he can actually do.
Is he on the Rocco special? Is that why he started last, or is he just did he have poor qualifying? I'm
going to assume. Well, him and Wesley Snipes were retired from the session straight away. Well, they did an outlap and then thingy, so I'm assuming they must have had some sort of quali ban, but it's not seemed to hold them back in any way, shape, or form.
Well, he's shaping up for a move here towards turn 1. Trouble with turn 1 is it's such a short braking zone. You're only down 3 gears. The only real one is down into turn 7. But even then, you go from 8th gear to 4th gear. It's like there aren't really the super heavy braking zones here where you can properly send it on someone. But I'd expect that he's going to sneak through here. Yeah,
I feel like he was waiting for the DRS straight, make the move, and not lose any more time. Because obviously, Jimmy's been a bit of a... Damn!
He wasn't very giving with the space there, was he? And Jimmy's coming back at him into turn 8. That's going to be, was it in D1 in LOE? I remember seeing Rudy do that to someone there. I think it was Pease, and just murdered him on the exit because it pinches it up so much. But Felix is through, and he's gained another place there. But Jimmy's looking to come back at him straight away.
Well, I feel like if Jimmy's smart, which I don't think he is, he'll hold him to the back of Felix and let him carry him back up to the slow slug that is Gary, who's up next.
Oh, sorry, very deep there for SBS Mr. Rage, and luckily I think he just nabbed the traction, but went very, very deep. Deeper than I went into Gary's mother last night.
Oh, as Optic has sent it down the inside, he's just... Oh! My God, he was getting a bit close there. Optic Gaming on IRT Barcode Boy, because I don't know what his name is, because that is just a random assault of letters. But yeah, these NLR guys seem to be a bit feisty and want to make some moves, so hopefully, it makes it a bit interesting, because otherwise we're going to be bored.
I think Mark's got some damage, and rightly so, because he looks like that RL car. It's a mighty handful to drive. I think he's picked up some side pod or something damage.
Let's hope he's got damage.
Oh, out! Not out of the race, but spun round. NLR Optic has lost the
green
chunk of
wall
front wing there.
has found the wall, and not the wall he wanted. That is not good for NLR.
That is beautiful line of commentary from you there. You should become a professional. You're very good at this.
I'm not too bad. I'm pretty good at just making stuff up and just rolling with it. Like racing terms, I don't have a clue. Like I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the strat is. I don't know what I'm really doing. I shouldn't really be lead com. I should probably be co-com because I'm not really keeping up with anything that's going on track. As actually, I say that, and Mark 4 lap has just been overtaken by Barco Boy. So
He has T Griff. There's a great little indie singer-songwriter called Griff. Do recommend. Probably not to most people his sensibilities, but you never know if someone likes with the soulful.
Hey, there might be someone out there. There might be someone out there. Ooh, 4 lap is looking for the inside. He's going to make a move. I feel. Oh, he's had a bit of a oversteer moment there, so he's absolutely bottled it there and let T Griff off lightly there. But we've got a bit of a train forming here, and it looks like VIR Jimmy Neutron has actually dropping off the back of Felix. So Felix is doing a good job, but I've noticed the gap has stayed the same between him and Gary, and that's not any due diligence to Gary. He's just in a DRS train being carried along. It's nothing to do with his actual pace. So
into the pits there, GSP Knight.
Ooh, an early one as well. He's gone from the hards. Did he have damage?
I think he's hit the wall somewhere.
Has he tapped?
He must have done.
Love tap. Yeah, it's like a wing's coming up there. I don't know.
Okay, that makes no sense whatsoever. The pit lane here is so long, you lose about 27 seconds because the way in and the way out is so long, and it's a street circuit, so the pit lane's small, the speed limit's low anyway. So he's probably going to do 2-stop and go hard, medium, medium. That makes absolutely no sense though.
Yeah, obviously I don't have a clue because I don't really race in this game, but it seems like a stupid thing for me to do. But unless he's thinking, you know, I'll go on the mediums, 2-stop, get out the train and make up the time and hopefully overcut everyone, but it's a bold strategy. It's a bold strategy.
Oh, and Knight coming out of the pits. Those hard tyres are an absolute medium tyres. They're an absolute handful. Cold tyres. They just wouldn't turn into turn 5. I think this is a track with some warm-up issues. And speaking of issues, No Jug has some because he's slipping further back from that, isn't he? He's comfortably ahead of Vogel, but only by 1.6 seconds on worse tyres as well, and D-rating now. Sorry, Vogel's the one D-rating. But yeah, No Jug, he's not romping away, is he, in the way that he should perhaps with those better tyres.
That's what I thought. Maybe Gary might be eyeing him up, seeing that little blink there. When I say that, Gary's not doing much better himself. So I can't see Gary making a move. He'll probably just stay behind. But I feel like it'd be a race between No Jug and, well, Izat seems to be doing his thing at the front. But knowing Izat, he has got a spin or two inside him, so he may just put it in a wall just to make it a bit more interesting for us in the com box.
Anything to make it more interesting would be nice. Singapore, it's the longest race, isn't it? Time-wise. A nice little red flag. A massive safety car glitch 10 laps from the end would be nice. With
it would be class if I was to somehow get a blue screen and lag out the lobby. But, you know, I'm enthralled to be here and I'm going to put on the best show I possibly can. Unlike these drivers here, who are just doing nothing really and just driving around boringly in a train. As I say that, 4 lap is literally riding T-Griff like I ride the train. Not going to go any further than that. I was going to say worse. But you know.
Would it just be Knight's retired from the session?
Oh, so he's probably had enough driving around at the back. I don't blame him. He was behind Mark, so anyone driving behind Mark, yeah, not somewhere you want to be. So I don't blame him. But you know, GSP I think they were P2 and P4. Always Optic, Fanboy 101. Oh, I think like he's going to retire. Yeah, he's speeding into the pits. Optic, it's just not their day. Not their day. Well,
we've quickly run out of drivers, aren't we? Here, 9 laps in. We've lost 3 of them at this rate. We're going to be down to 5 by the end of the race.
Well,
this can be the kind of race where Mark finishes like
P4
or
I feel like Mark is going to just survive, like he's been surviving the last God knows how many years of his life, and he'll just be there. It won't be down to his own achievement or his skill. But he'll just be... Oh, I say that, and VAR Jimmy Neutron has put it straight into a wall. I can't recommend doing that. He's probably got damage, and he's somehow ended up behind Mark. So he's probably going to retire in the pits, because that'll do anyone's confidence. But yeah, he's coming into the pits. Is he going to smash straight into the wall and speed and not care? Oh, he seems to be a bit gentle here. So he clearly cares. Wonder what type. He'll probably go on to the mediums and then hope for a late safety car, as most of these people at the back are probably going to hope for.
I respect that, staying in the race. I'd like to see how many retirements we can get, but I respect it.
I reckon we'll get, I feel 2 more retirements coming. We'll finish with at least 10. Between 10 and 8, I reckon. But yeah, there's a few splits happening now. You got is that out ahead, no Jug on his own, Vogel on his own, with Gary on his back. He's got Gary just staring at him. Not doing anything.
The trouble is, no one's got any ERS to use apart from No Yug, who's got 64%. Everyone else is on Mink, who's is the next victim of Thorolf, has got a fair amount as well, and Thorolf is hounding him. He's pushing him round I think that's turn 13. He'll get a good run towards, turn 12 now. This is going to be 13 coming up next, but it's a DRS train. You can't really do anything, can you, there? And
I feel like, unless Mick drops out the DRS, that's 4 laps' only chance, unless he goes for an absolute send, which for my own amusement I hope he does, because it'll make it a bit more exciting and give me a reason to actually give my balls a tingle and shout at something, but we'll see.
Have we got anyone running double points or Hail Mary?
Right, I'll give you I'll try and find that information out. I'm pretty sure I should know where it is, but we'll...
Gary into the pits.
Going for well, he's on the medium, so he's probably into the hards. 20 laps. Doable? Right. Let's see what people are using. Oh.
He's out, must be loving life right now. He's having the easiest race of all time, which compared to how his LOE ones have gone quite recently, they tend to be, in fairness to him, through no fault of his own, but fairly chaotic and extravagant. I know his Austria race, he got murdered a couple of times. As Thorol is through on Mick there into turn 7. Mick's going to try get a switch back. There's nothing doing, although Thorol takes a very tight line through 8, but he's got more than enough speed in him as the GSP driver. He has comfortably taken P7 there. And ahead of them, Wesley is now honing in on Mr. Rage quite significantly, and only a minuscule amount, but Wesley has a little bit of ERS to use as well. So that's our main battle on track right now until Thorol joins in.
Well, hopefully, maybe because now 4 laps got past Mick, that might give Wesley Snipes the go-ahead, as we've got a yellow flag. Mick has absolutely, I don't know, I think he's dropped it on the hairpin maybe? It looks like he's got no damage. So I feel, oh no, he's lost his right end plate, so I feel like he's probably dropped it and put it in a wall. He'll be coming into the pits to change that. It's not what he wants after being overtaken by GS4 laps, so his dreams, aspirations of getting a result are quickly fading. Fading.
Thorolf has had a very good lap. He was about 1.5 seconds behind Wesley. He's already cut that down to almost half a second in a couple of sectors. I think that shows how much Mr. Rage in particular is struggling right now, and Wesley's got nothing he can really do about it. Thorolf's already been in one train. Can he clear himself from another? As Mick's into the pits, and I think he must have had some kind of drama on the way in there, because there was a yellow flag thrown very briefly. Is there going to be anything doing for Wesley? Nope, not this time. He's well too far back.
Yeah, he's a bit too far back, but the good thing for lap, he has actually got at least between 15 and 20% more ERS, which might come in useful if they do struggle, these two. But
it's mad that Mark has shithoused his way up into P9, even though he's yet to pit.
He will get points, I know, well, he's going to get points anyway, but I just, it's infuriating. He's going to get points, and he's going to be really excited about it, and no one's going to care, other than him. But at least we got Izat doing bits and actually driving how he should be driving, and obviously, like we said, Mark's just here for the crack.
I mean, Mark's pace is, He's okay. As there's a little bit of side by side there. Is Thorolf is through on Wesley.
Yeah, he's got through on Wesley. Wow.
And an odd spot as well. You don't normally make overtakes into that hairpin at the end of that DRS straight. It must be.
Yeah, Wesley must have got Wesley must have got a bad run on the hairpin and then fall up and thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to send it. And absolutely sent it.
What I was going to say though, Mark's pace is actually okay. He might not have damage because his final laps are 42.6, which is quicker than Griff's. Mr. Rage is a 42.3. It's comparable, 42.3 for Mick. Like, it's comparable to the other slower drivers, shall I put it kindly, on hard tyres.
Yeah.
Vogel and Felix are standouts on that tyre. But everyone else, Mark's on their pace. So I don't think he's out of a good result if a safety car is forthcoming in the next 8 laps or so.
I feel like that's what he's holding out for, and if I was him, I'd probably be doing the same, because at this, it's just all you can really hope for. And I feel like there's a lot of people are going to be waiting out for a safety car after their mistakes earlier in the race.
Fastest lap for Jimmy, even though he's on completely the shittest strategy of all time. Worse than QBR Verstappen's strategies at wherever it was. He started on softs and then pitted lap 2, and I just thought, what the fuck are you doing, mate? And Jimmy, 3-second penalty there. It's going from bad to worse for him. Fastest lap, but he's got to make another pit stop. Those mediums are not going to the end. He didn't have any damage. Got no idea why he came in where he did. He's just having fun running around at the back in clean air.
I'm actually surprised that it's taken 13 laps for someone to actually pick up a pen, because I know it is quite easy just to pick up annoying little warnings here and there just for cutting a few curbs. So fair play to the drivers for getting this far in the race and actually picking up the pens. Hopefully, you know, they might come thick and fast later on as people are, you know, pushing a bit more and trying to get the actual end result, but we'll see.
I'm just going to have a look at the lap times. I want to see what Izat's doing. He's done 42.5, 42.2, 42.2 the last few laps. Gary is done a 41.3, and he's on course to match that again. If Izat doesn't pit in the next 2 or 3 laps, Gary
could be ahead of him.
Could undercut him there. Yeah, he's going to be very near Gary. Obviously, he'll have worse tyres, which, if Izat's ahead, you then think Izat will do what he's done already this stint and will pull away again. But if Izat's not careful, now I've drawn attention to, I'm sure Izat will be in quite soon, but if he's not careful, Gary is in his undercut danger zone if Izat makes a mistake.
Yeah, and as we know, Izat does have a few mistakes up his sleeves, his small, short little sleeves. There is a lot of mistakes up there.
Oh dear.
But we will see. As the race has got pretty dire, to be fair. I think the only people who are near each other is 4-lap on Mr. Rage and Vogel on No Jug, but I feel like they're just settling into the race now, waiting for the pit stops, and then they'll start to make some moves, hopefully. Otherwise, we'll die of boredom.
Yeah, No Young, I don't understand why he stayed out as long. I know Izat's got the buffer, but No Young, he is going to get undercut by Gary. Gary's gap to No Young is about 25.5, which is less than a pit stop. Comfortably. Gary's taken a lot out. Is that this lap? The gap I said was 30.0 when I started mentioning it. It's now 28.8.
Yeah.
Izat really needs to come in, if not this lap, next lap, and he's not coming in this lap. Gary's got a whiff of a sniff of a race lead here, as No Yug is in.
Yeah, No Yug's in. I feel like Izat should have done the same. If P's, I'm pretty sure P's and someone else in the party with him, if they've got a brain, which they've probably got half a brain between the 3 of them, you know, tell Izat he probably needs to pit. I know he thinks he's fast and he's at his own track, but he has got a spin in him, and if he ends up behind Gary, Gary's going to make that car so wide. You know he will, because Gary's obsessed with Relentless. Seeing as he got denied by us and now he's in QVR, so he's going to prove a point by holding up Izat if he does end up in front of him. So
Gary's on double points here, so you never know.
Fair
and
one.
If what's the gap between Gary and No Yug? It is
2.5.
2.5.
It's going to grow because
No Yug was 3.2 behind Izat, is what I was thinking. So Gary's only about. He is a lap away from being side by side with Izat when Izat comes out of the pits, and Izat will come out on very cold tyres. Exactly. As you said about that gap growing with No Yug, it will close up between Gary and Izat. Izat needs to pit this lap.
Yeah, he needs to pit if he's got a brain. Sadly, I don't think he has. So this may become it might make things a bit actually exciting, which he's probably trying to do because Izat does live for a bit of entertainment.
Awesome ding dong there, Jimmy and T-Griff into turn 7. Jimmy sneaking through on quicker medium tyres against T-Griff's hards, but you think that'll come back towards him by the end of the race. Right, is Izzat hitting this lap, Ryan?
I hope he does. I feel like he won't, because... No, he is. He is. Okay, he's smart. Now, it'd be interesting to see where he actually comes out in comparison to Gary. I'm going to come on board with Gary and just see how close it actually is. Because if Gary can get into his DRS, he can just sit there and just chill, to be fair, unless he's like really does just drive away, which, you know, could be the case, but we will see.
He's going to be behind Mark here, is that, which is going to be fun when
God,
that sorts itself
what
out.
could possibly go
around
wrong?
The last corner now.
I feel like he's going to do it.
That's going to be ahead, but only just. Gary's going to nab DRS here, I think, towards turn 7, because Izzat's going to be so slow through turn 3 and 4. I think Gary's going to get this done on this lap, you know, because Izzat's going to have no turning whatsoever into turn 5 when he flicks the car in here. Is the car going to want to commit? He did quite well, did a good job actually. He's going to have more ERS as well. Gary has messed that one up by trying to use it all, and he's let Izzat off the hook there. If Gary had ERS, I think that move would have been done.
Yeah, I think Izzat's saving grace there was he had 30% ERS, which he could actually use just to help him just stay ahead whilst his tyres warm up, and that was Gary's one chance really, just to get in front of Izzat on his cold tyres. Now he's just going to be staring at the back of that pink and orange car for, I can imagine, the rest of the race.
What's the offset? 5 laps fresher tyres for Izzat. It's probably worth a couple of tenths.
Yeah.
If it's worth more than Gary gets from his DRS, then Izzat is going to pull away. He already looks like he's pulling away, doesn't he? I think Gary should be closer than the 6 tenths he's at right now, where he was coming onto that straight. I think Izzat has just about seen this one off, but that was riskier than it needed to be.
Yeah, I feel like I think he knew we were bored, so I think he was just trying to make it a bit more entertaining for us, which I rate as Felix comes into the pits. Only done 16 laps on those hards, so mediums aren't going to be the best near the end. But I'm curious to see what kind of pace he's got on those mediums, because obviously he did come from last on the grid on the hards, and he was holding the best times with Izzat on those hards. So
well, they'll see how long the that's going to be quite close actually. Is it with no young? Actually, no, he's not. With the medium tyres at this point, they're going to struggle towards the end, but then they'll have seen how long Izzat took them in the first stint. So
yeah,
they'll presumably their last fine. Although visually, Izzat's tyres did look a bit grim when he finally came in. What's his gap over Gary now? 8 tenths. Gary
holding in there,
just keeping him pegged in, but I don't think that'll stay the case for more than a lap. There you go. He's going to be at more than a second.
Yeah,
there we go. Over now. That's the race for Izzat without a safety car, I think.
Yeah, I feel like Izzat's just going to do his thing. Gary had his little hit there of morphine of seeing Izzat, and now he's just going to watch him drive into a little speck. I know he's small as it is, but he's going to get a bit smaller as he drives on further up the track. But I'm curious to see what Felix is going to do, to be fair, because he's just come up behind No Jug on the mediums. He's going to make this move stick, I feel like, because he's on the fresher tyres, the faster tyre. Oh, No Jug's going to show him the wall, and Felix is like, no thank you, I'm just going to go around the outside. And I feel like that's it. That's the move done for Felix. And I'd be curious to see how quick, or if he actually catches up to the back of Gary.
I think he will. The gap's 4 seconds. I think that could come down by... Because Gary's got no DRS now. It's pure pace. And Felix has a little bit of ERS to burn up as well, which will gain a couple of tenths. Gary's got nothing. As our Romanian medium runners are into the pits. And Vogel off the hards as well. Yeah, I think Felix can have Gary here by the end of the race. He's going to come out very close to Vogel, and Vogel, by staying out an extra lap, is going to lose out here, because with the hotter tyres, the stickier tyres, I think Felix is going to see him off comfortably. So he's not going to have the DRS, but he's going to have so much more speed through turn 5. And Vogel just needs to put everything at Felix here towards turn 7. But is he going to have any tyre temp to keep this move complete?
This is going to be... He sent it. Can he keep it? Oh, he has. Well, he's pushed Felix off slightly, but Felix has gone, you know what, I'm just going to send it straight back on you.
Ah, the Rudy move.
Ah, yes. Luckily the wall was a bit further away that time, so he didn't get put into it, but this one creeps up on you, and that's...
My Gideon, and here comes Wesley. Oh, that is not an overtaking spot. It's a fifth gear corner.
This is getting
Wesley,
very... Wesley Snipes, what are you doing? You need to go back to the 90s, mate, because I don't know where you just got lost in time there.
It was opportunistic. It was like me against Rickeric at Spain.
Yeah, I guess he had the DRS, and he thinks, you know what, why not? I don't...
Market is that.
Oh, there's Vogel there, a bit of a snapper oversteer there. Felix is going to see that the red flashing lights there on Vogel and say, you know what, I'm going to take you down this back straight. I feel like he's just going to size up a move. Hopefully no jug is... Yeah, he's dropping off slightly. He had this little moment of being the man, and now it's up. So I feel like Felix will get this move done if he doesn't absolutely get a terrible run onto the back straight.
And he's got ERS. Vogel's got nothing. Like you said, I've seen the red light blinking. He'll gain up a lot into turn one, but the trouble is that Vogel's on just as good tyres as Felix, so he's not in their final level playing field. I think Felix needs to get this move done sooner rather than later, but they are both catching Gary. Gap was 4, it's now down to 3.1, and Gary's going to find himself very vulnerable here. His net P2 very much under threat, and the double points that come with it. As Thorolf has dispatched Wesley Snipes there. Wesley Snipes has had a very adventurous lap last lap. Has he picked up damage? Because he's lost like 6 seconds in a lap.
I can't see any visible damage, but you know what the game's like. You could even have side pod damage maybe, and I know how that can affect you because I've driven around on this track, on this game with side pod damage, and it's the worst thing in the world. But he has dropped off significantly, but maybe he is on the slower tyres though. Maybe those mediums are just, they're making the most of them at the moment and just pulling away as most as they can.
Gary now 2.2 ahead of Vogel. That gap is coming down.
Yeah.
It's not just rapid, that is ultra catching, striking distance in 1 lap AWS pace, and he's going to have to pass Ariel Mark here if he wants to delay the advances of VER and NLR behind him. He's going to have a look at Mark towards turn 1. Mark shifts to the left, back to the right. Gary's up the inside. Mark's not going to give this up easily at all, in contact for the second time today between a QVR driver and Ariel Mark, and Mark's going to have DRS here towards turn 7, and we know how it turns out when he gets in the slipstream there, and he hits does he hit the back of Gary? I can Jones see Mark lagging away with his terrible internet. He's got a run on Gary towards turn 7. He's got more straight line speed, but he's got Vogel right behind him. This could be 3 wide into turn 7. It's not Mark sending it. Why on earth is he going for it there? He's not pitted yet. He's helping Izzat out, no wonder, but I think Izzat's got the pace. He's side by side towards turn 8. Gary's going to show him the wall. Mark's just keeps in there and nearly lights up the rear tyre straight into Gary's side pod, and now he's under threat from Vogel and Felix.
Yeah, he's obviously doing a great job as a teammate for Izzat, but you know, Mark at his finest with his terrible driving standards has nearly put Gary, Vogel and Felix into a wall, so we'll see. Hopefully he gets overtaken on this straight so we don't have to worry about him, because he's an absolute problem child at the moment. But it's just don't have the DRS. Vogel doesn't have the...
Oh, and he squeezes Vogel right to the wall. That was reminiscent of your good self, NSX Montana there into that corner.
I must be his role model or idol, because he's driving like me and I don't have a clue how to drive. So Mark is putting his best defensive performance for Izzat, even though I don't think Izzat needs it. But I feel like, yeah, Mark's going to be in the steward room for a long, long time.
And he was lucky not to spin Gary around. The contact was just one of those nice contacts where one car doesn't get spun around, spin up into the pits now. Thankfully out of the way after his brief soiree in P3.
Hopefully we don't have to worry about him for the rest of the race, and we can just say his name at the end when he's probably in last position, because he'll bin it. But it's giving Gary a bit of time, just to, you know, 1 lap probably of saving grace before he's overtaken by these two who are just piling on the pressure.
Sorry, I'm just taking a brief response. So Mark
Then
is
the thing
very
is,
special in a Discord server.
whilst Mark was doing his little Mission Impossible of holding everyone up, he has actually helped No Jug just creep in to that DRS. So this could become a 4-way battle for P3, and Gary does not want to lose positions to all these 3 people behind him, and QBR especially.
Yeah, Gary blinked very early on the strategy, and he is suffering for it now, because even Noyog on the slower hard still has tyres that are 4 laps fresher than Gary. Oh, into the wall there goes Felix on the exit of turn 12. He's got to be careful he doesn't reverse into the wall there and pick up some rear wing damage. He plummets as Vogel passes Gary into 13. Really does give him a proper shove there, does the VR driver. He's through into a net P2, and Noyug will be looking to follow pronto.
Yeah, Vogel sent it so deep there that they basically come to an absolute stop just to make the corner, the both of them. So it was quite an aggressive send. There was no contact, but Gary literally had to come to a stop before he can even make a turn. So that will go down well.
And Mr. Rage, the last driver yet to pit, is in for SBS. SBS only with 1 driver this evening, because they tried to nominate a driver who wasn't on their roster, I believe, and
right, the effort.
Julie suffered for it. Mr. Rage will come out in P. He's going to come out in P8. Yeah, he's going to come out ahead of VR Jimmy quite comfortably, in fact, in the end, but. As VR Jimmy looks like he's at threat of a second penalty, they just swim skittling across curb turn 2. Noyug's very close to Gary, having looked down the outside into turn 7, and there was no space there. He wasn't even alongside Gary, but thought he'd have a look at the outside anyway, and ended up sticking his own car in the wall there.
Went for a non-existent gap that just got smaller and smaller and smaller, and just thought, I'm just going to put it here and see what happens.
This is a send.
This is send it here.
Oh, it's not a send. It's a tap on the rear instead.
I think he's letting Gary know, hey, I'm here. I'm coming past. Gary will know that and feel the pressure. Oh, that's the joys of no ABS versus ABS.
What are you doing? We've got Thorol here. Thorol's going to get a good exit, actually, on Noyug, and it's going to slipstream. He's going to get a little bit of a tow from Gary. Is he going to send it deep up the outside? No, he's not. He's going to cut back underneath the exit of 13. Traction race towards 14. I don't think he's going to be able to send it here. Such a tricky little braking zone, but Thorol, from that earlier mistake, has slowly clawed his way back in, and don't count him out for a podium yet.
No, he's come back and he's really got himself involved in this race, and he's actually got a lot of ERS just as No Jug has. The only problem is Gary's the one who's going to suffer here. I feel like he's going to lose 2 positions in 1 lap if the drivers behind actually time this perfectly, because they've seemed to have the pace. And like you say, Gary's just went a bit early on the strategy, trying to go for a bold move, I guess, and just stick it out and see what happens, but it doesn't seem to be paying off at the moment, even though he is still in P3, but I feel like he's going to drop down to P5. Although No Jug was literally riding him. And by the looks of it, No Jug seems to be running running ABS, so he can brake a lot later than Gary, who's running the no ABS. And I feel like he's going to hang around the outside, and if Gary's going to just stick it.
Oh, Gary don't be doing that, Sunshine. He's going to get sent here into turn 8. He's going to get shown the wall. He sees it coming, and Thorol trying to cut on the outside. In fact, Gary's going to get the inside here into turn 9. They barge wheels. Thorol spins Gary round the full 180, and Felix, after his earlier spin, has nipped back through into P4, and Felix is back on for a potential podium now.
Wow. Yeah, I got a bit punchy there. No Jug and Gary giving the little bargy, and then Fallout just came in and said, move out the way. Boom, bitch, get out the way. And Felix said, I'll have both of you. So Felix, after his little mistake at the hairpin, has actually come back into this race, and like I was saying, he does have the best pace, I'd reckon, other than that on track. So I feel like a podium is on the cards for him, especially with No Jug being on the hards. Just ones I hope that his mediums drop off before No Jug's hards drop off. They're on even the ERS as well, so it's going to come down to pure skill. But then Fallout with a 30% ERS advantage, he'll be the one that could get them both if they fight each other too hard. He could just come by like he did earlier and go, yeah, I'll take that position.
Just as that move was developing, quickly off topic, I did have a dip in Race Director and look at lap times, and is at couple laps ago, 41.2. Vogel a 39.8, 1.5 seconds quicker, and he's continuing to catch Vogel. He's taken 3 seconds out of his in the last couple of laps since he's passed Gary. So I think those tyres will drop off, but it's not completely over yet. It's the battle for the win.
Maybe that's just trying to save his tyres, and maybe he's ERS just to see if he can come back at him. But wow, Vogel went full lap, went very deep. Oh, as No Jug just got a little trigger happy on the throttle there. Was going sideways, and Felix gave him a little tap to send him. I feel like he may have.
Yeah, I was on board with Felix. That looked like a big whack he actually ended up giving No Yoke. I think, yeah, he's got damage. Definitely that car didn't turn over the curb. Let's have a look in the hairpin. It looked okay through there. Sector 3 will be very telling, but I think he's got damage. I think Thorell is going to get back into the podium places here.
It's unlucky for Felix after his earlier mistake, getting back into the podium position just to pick up damage there. It's not what you want, especially as No Joke was basically sideways anyway. Like, it's not much he could have done. He just ran straight into the back of him.
Actually, maybe Thorell. Oh, No Young's gone again. Oh, he's just been double. Oh, yeah, he's got no front wing. Actually, I think Felix has escaped. I don't know how, because that looked like a massive... Oh! Into the wall, Thorell there! They're dropping like flies!
Wow.
And Wesley and SBS Mr. Age, in their own little battle, they're going to nip through into 4th and 5th. No one wants to finish on the podium in this race, is what it feels like, other than Izat and Vogel. And look, SBS Mr. Age has got a good run towards turn 1, but he's not going to commit to a move there. He's going to wait for turn 7.
It's crazy. So it seems like P1 and P2 are set in stone, and everyone else is just like, no, I don't want that podium position, and they're just crashing out any opportunity they get. That's
Thorell's second mistake of the day, isn't it? After the one very early on, and here comes Mr. Rage now. This is going to be a textbook move. No, it's not. Look, Wesley must be running very low wings because they're both derating, but Mr. Rage is not gaining at all down the straight. I think Wesley's running lower wings. The default here is you run very close to 50-50. It's Mark has made an overtake, Ryan.
What? No way. Surely, no. No one's in the wall. There's no yellow flags. Mark has cleanly overtaken someone. Wow. And it's for actual position. Well, you know what, Mark? You might be special, but I'll give you it. You've made a clean overtake. It doesn't make up for the 10 dirty ones and crashes and incidents that you've been in today, but you know that's a win for you. So you take that to bed tonight.
And if he can get 4 tenths or 3 tenths, which I think he will, because Jimmy's on ties 11 laps older, Mark's going to get P8 as Mr. Rage does pass Wesley, and Wesley's going to cut back and has no tyres left.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's set in stone now. I feel like P1, 2 and 3 are... That's it, unless they... Well, Felix got a few mistakes in him, so he might, you know, put another one in the wall just to give SPS Mr. Rage a bit of a semi. And he sees his car, but I feel like the top 3 are set, and then Mr. Rage on the most freshest mediums in P4. I don't know if he'll catch that gap in the short period of time he's got, especially with Felix being as fast as he is. But we'll see. And I feel like Fallout might come back for another comeback drive after his God knows how much mistakes he's made this race. He'll be annoyed with himself at the end of this race.
I'm just having a quick check-in with the lap times. 41.0 for Izat, which is pretty consistent with what he's been doing. But a 40.7 now for Vogel. His tyres aren't really at where they were a few laps ago. He's still catching, but only a couple of tenths a lap now. I think Izat has safely got this one covered unless he knocks the wall somewhere in the next couple of laps. No one in DRS range, that's depressing.
Yeah, it's going to be another... Well, 4 laps just hanging on to it, like for dear life, like I'm hanging on to my 20s, but... Yeah, I feel like, yeah, he's... I don't know. I thought he was going to come back at Wesley Snipes, but I guess his tyres after the spins he's had are just cooked. And now he's just going to be settling for position. Jimmy's getting close to the back of Gary, but with that pen, he's pretty much ineffective. So yeah, I feel like this is just, people now are just seeing out the laps unless people make mistakes. I don't see much happening really, which is a bummer.
We should turn to the stream chat and see if anyone's got any questions. That's what I do in these lulls, if anyone's watching, how many people are watching? So
Apparently 16. I doubt they are.
Yeah.
But
If you're in the stream chat, drop a question or a comment. But give us something to talk about for the next 4.5 laps.
yeah, because talking about this, oh, there's 4. That picks up a 3-second time pen, and that gives, well, yeah, it's giving Gary a sense of hope. Getting a P6 there, if he can hold on and his tyres don't drop off in these next couple of laps. That just sums up 4 laps. I think that's a nail in the coffin for 4 lap, really. After his mistakes and spins, a pen just to solidify him even more. Do we have any questions? Someone needs to spin with damage for Mick.
So that's why Mick's so slow off the pace, because he's just running around with presumably a yellow front wing. And I just didn't go on board with him. He was nowhere. He was a country mile wide of the apex at turn 5. He's got nothing going for him in this race. If I say Hail Mary Wildcard sucks.
I don't even know what it does, to be fair.
Hail Mary is you either get, if both cars finish in the points, you get double points for both drivers. If one driver doesn't finish in the points, you score 0. Which I think is great. And someone spun is VR Jimmy.
Jimmy Neutron. This might be Mick's saving grace if he does have damage, but I don't think he does. I think it's just a bit of a spin. Unless he has got damage, it might give IRT some hope. But with Mick's wing damage, I feel like he's just dribbling along.
Someone said, "What is the sexiest livery on track?" Shabby 2K, and I'm saying it is the GSP livery. I think that looks classy, simple, elegant. It's just a muted metallic red with some black flashes there. I think it looks really nice.
I'm just going to go along from P1 to P12 and rate them. Well, Izats is awful, so because it's not even the relentless colours, but you know, he's tried. He's probably colourblind, so that's probably the best he could do. So I'll give him that.
He's made a mistake because Vogel's now 2.1 seconds behind.
Yeah, Izat, I don't know if he's doing it for the bants or we've got another yellow flag. Jimmy's actually binned it again. IRT Mick's actually got through, so they will be getting double points if Jimmy's got effective damage, which I don't know if he's only got no visible damage, so if Mick can just hold them up, basically, they'll get some points there. But yeah, back onto liveries because no one cares about what's going on in this race. VR Vogels, yours is awful.
Yep.
NLR is terrible. It's just no. SBS, yeah, it's alright. DTR, let me just wait for a slow corner so I can see it. Yes, it's simple, effective, gold and black, I don't mind it. GSP, I rate GSPs. QBR's bleh. Relentless, bleh. Nah, Relentless is alright. It's just a shame that Mark's driving it, so it just looks worse.
Yeah, I like the Relentless livery. I don't like the QBR one, really.
Yeah, it's not even like, yeah, it's too simple. Like, you've got the colours there, and there's a lot of designs that you can do a lot with that. So I feel like
penalty for Vogel, that ruins any hope of a Vogel comeback.
Oh, Vogel, you got a bit too excited seeing Izat's tiny car in the distance. But yeah, IRTs, yeah, looks bang average. VR Jimmy, he's running a completely different livery to VR Vogel, so they've gone for the relentless strat and just run different cars and hope no one crashes into them thinking they're a different team. So yeah, you know what, I'll probably agree with you. It's probably Relentless or GSP for me. No bias, obviously not Izats, because Izats is a complete wrong colour.
Oh, Gary's made a mistake on the exit of Oh, he's playing chicken with Mark. What is going on here?
No.
We're playing DRS chicken. Is Gary trying to bait Mark into an overtake here? He's weaving across the track. Was there contact between these two? Perhaps something's happened between them. Mark's going to go down the outside of turn 7. Gary's squeezing him right to the wall here. There's clearly something's gone on between them. And Mark is through around the outside of 7. Gary's going to try to cut back towards 8. Are they just playing for cameras, or is something happened?
They might be, you know, faking a little battle here, or Gary probably knows that Mark's probably going to get so many penalties that he doesn't even need to worry about him. But Mark's made an overtake. I don't know what happened before. I feel like there's probably been Mark crashing into him because, you know, I don't think Gary would be weaving on a straight for no reason.
Yeah, I think Gary's made a mistake. Gary was obviously going to get Thorold on penalties and was catching Wesley as well. He was catching the pair of them, so I think Gary must have made a mistake, or Mark came at him and hit him. I'm going to scrub back through stream. You start talking.
Okay, I'll just keep talking absolute random crap. As Lewis Campbell, aka QBI Campbell, who couldn't race today for whatever reason, said in the stream chat, permanent mark Cam. See,
yeah, what it was, Mark caught Gary, something happened between them.
Oh, it's Gary.
Got a pen.
Time.
Yeah,
Gary's
Mark,
lost his head.
Before the contact, Mark was 3/10 behind Gary. 2/10 behind Gary, I'm seeing. Gary was 1.7 behind Thurl. We're getting towards turn 1 now. And... oh no, sorry, it's 10 seconds time. Yeah, and they're both spun round or something or other.
Well, so Mark's probably crashed into him because, you know, Mark's Mark. Somehow Mark, I don't know if he's going to get pens or whatever for instance, but at the moment he's running net P6 at the moment, which is mental.
He was at turn 3, which is bizarre. They must have been side by side through 1. Or Mark was just behind Gary and then just sent it into turn 3. That is bizarre. You don't really see it in this game because you can't. It's difficult to run side by side through turn 2. I'm just mindlessly speculating here, but that's an odd place to crash anywhere other than lap 1 at turn 2 and turn 3. I expect them to come to blows at 1, but on the minimap it was turn 3. So very odd. Vogel is still catching it at 1.7, but his penalties made that particular pursuit redundant, and Thurl isn't in a position to do anything about Wesley, but Mark is to do something about Thurl. He's on better tyres, and he's comfortably within DRS range now.
Yeah, but knowing Mark, he will probably send him. I can't imagine him doing anything else, because he'll get too excited and think, let's go for it, even though he should see that he's got a penalty and he can just sit in behind, but knowing Mark, he's probably going to send it and then blame it on Thurl when he turns in on him. So, but we'll see as we go through the final corner onto the straight.
We will see indeed. And Thurl's got a little out of shape there. Mark's got a great chance. We're going to see a repeat of what happened with Gary. He's up the inside towards turn 1. He's got much more impetus this time. He's through. Thurl backs out of that one, and I don't think he's going to have the tyres to get the DRS back towards turn 7. Mark's just driven clean away from him there.
Yeah, Mark's got the fresher tyres. If GSP was able to stick right on him, he would probably have the DRS advantage and used it to get maybe back in front, but the traction off that corner there, you just saw Mark, obviously not due to any skill of his own, but just due to the fresher tyres, actually able to just pull away as we have a yellow flag. Who is
T-Griff.
T-Griff's had a little bit of error there. He's got a front wing, which is good. As Gary's... oh, Gary.
Let's not dwell on Gary, because our winner is about to come across the line. And he's not done anything wrong, really. He looked briefly threatened by Vogel, but you can't help but think that was just backing off for the cameras. He's going to take a well-deserved victory.
It's good to see that driving his tuk-tuk round the Singapore streets has paid off, as Isaac wins his home race comfortably ahead of Vogel, who got a time penalty and ruined any chances of putting any pressure on the 4-foot man. As Felix, with a nice comeback drive, actually starting last on the grid up to P3. He could have probably even challenged for Vogel if he didn't make that many mistakes. And SBS Rage actually gets a comfortable P4. Wesley Snipes is coming around the final corner now in P5, which is a decent result, I think, because he did start second to last. And then Ariel Mark, by somehow, I don't even know, is P6, which is mental. Full lap after having an up and down race, really. He had a lot of pace, but he just couldn't seem to keep it on track for long enough to stay in front of people. And then the IRT people, after using the Hail Mary and thinking they've absolutely fucked it, have actually scored points, P8 and P9, so that'd be a double point scoring and for both of them, if I'm served correctly. As T-Griff, I don't know if he's in AI or not, he was ghosted, that might get looked into. And then Jimmy Neutron, with his pen and on fresh tyres, maybe going for a fastest lap to take it away from someone. No, he's just slowing down. That shows how his race went. And no Jug. Maybe you should have had Jug, mate, because your car was a bit flimsy hitting those walls.
I think for the sake of both of our sanities, we should go through the results and end the stream as soon as humanly possible.
Yep, I will be, as soon as we go through the results, I will be just throwing my PlayStation off the table and just never coming on until tomorrow. driver of the day, Felix. I'd probably agree, to be fair, even though he did make a few mistakes. He had the best drive. I don't want to give it to Isaac because Isaac just drove at the front, being boring. So, yeah. Let's get these results nipped. As he's doing the griddy, oh my god. Anyone who plays FIFA hates that celebration, and I hate Isaac even more for doing that. Is that family with him in the crowd celebrating?
I've got an exclusive quote from QVR Gary from the QVR server.
Perfect.
He says, I don't want to do league racing anymore.
Perfect. I'm so glad, Mark. You've absolutely killed Gary's life. He no longer wants to race. You've retired Gary. So you know what? That's probably the best thing you've done since you've joined the team. But as we run through our results, we have Isaac in P1, Vogel in P2, Felix in P3, Mr. Rage in P4, Wesley Snipes in P5, the Malteser Mark in P6, Forlap P7, Mick Schumacher in P8, Barcode Boy Tigriff in 9, Jimmy Neutron in P10, DTR No Jug, should probably have Jug because his car was weak as a piss, in P11, and Gary, who's retired from league racing after running into a Malteser, there's our last DNFer in P12. GSP Knight, who could have had a good result, but again DNF'd, unlucky. Optic Fanboy needs to stick to COD because F1 clearly isn't his game as he finished P14. And KBR Killer, who's now my co-coms, got taken out by Malteser, so we're not going to really dwell on his results.
It was a blink and you miss it race for me. I made it 7 corners.
Yeah, 7 more than I would have made, so don't you worry, mate. Right, well that was absolutely so fun, and I can't wait to do it again, and hopefully they never ask me to do comms again, because, yeah.
I agree.
Well, on that bombshell, good night.